Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. And not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Welcome back from Fox News. You're going to love this one. Twitter faces scrutiny as Taliban fighters continue using big tech platform during Afghanistan turmoil. Oh. Trump can't blast big tech over continued selective bans. They've let the leaders of Iran, the CCP, and all of our enemies tweet unabated. He is absolutely correct. And here we have our president, sadly. Let's read on. Twitter continues to face pressure over its decision to allow Taliban to use its platform while maintaining its ban of former President Donald Trump and censoring other right-leaning American accounts. I'm going to post this on my Twitter account. We'll see how long that stays up. A spokesman for the radical Islamist group that has seized control of Afghanistan, can't pronounce his name, has been using the platform to give updates about the group's advance. That's okay. That's okay. People that behead people, gang, RAPESs, all those things, these people get to use Twitter, but us conservatives, a lot of us conservative people, I shouldn't say most, a lot of us, and the former president of the United States, while he was president of the United States, is banned. Seriously? Mohajid's account is not verified, but it has nearly 280,000 followers and is regularly cited by major news outlets. Oh, he's not certified. Oh, okay. Gee, there's the difference. He recently tweeted an update on military units entering Kabul and wrote that their advancing is continued normally. On Tuesday, he used Twitter to announce a press conference that afternoon, and Twitter also allowed him to post warnings and statements as Kabul fell to the radical group. The situation in Afghanistan is rapidly evolving, a Twitter spokesman told Fox. We're also witnessing people in the country using Twitter to seek help and assistance. Oh, I see. Okay. You guys suck so bad. So bad. Your day is coming, all of you guys. All of you. All of you on these social platforms, social networks, big tech monsters, your day is coming. And you can see it. Because you're starting to act like you're scared. Twitter's top priority is keeping people safe, and we will remain vigilant. What a bunch of crap. Lie upon lie upon lie. You know, you got to have a hell of a memory to lie so much, and they don't have that good of a memory, apparently. We will continue to proactively enforce our rules and review content that may violate Twitter rules, specifically policies against glorification of violence and platform manipulation and spam. They don't want to glorify violence, but they'll let the guy that runs the Taliban go on his account. And you know what? Trump was permanently suspended from Twitter in January for what big tech giant called incitement of violence surrounding the Capitol riot. Absolute BS. Have you seen the whole speech? They were pushing against the fences of the Capitol Police while Trump was speaking. It makes zero sense. CNN reporter Donnie O'Sullivan, whose outlet was supportive of Trump's ban, tweeted, "The former president of the United States is banned from Twitter, but the Taliban is not?" Yeah, Donnie. Yeah, Donnie. Why do you act surprised? Why do you act surprised? Whether you agree with deplatforming or not, there's clearly some big holes in the company's policies. Yeah. Really? Really? Boy, I'll tell you what, that's a big diplomatic way to put it. My God, my God. International observers has condemned the Taliban for its violent subjugation of Afghan people, particularly women, as reports of executions, RAPES, forced marriages, and terror alarm the world. They forgot the beheadings. Of course, that's probably listed under executions. The Trump camp doesn't have confidence, even with the mainstream media criticism of the inconsistent bans and suspensions, that Twitter or other big tech outlets will reassess how they make such weighty calls. They've let the leaders of Iran, the CCP, and our enemies tweet unabated. They view patriotic Americans as a greater threat, a source close to Trump told Fox News. They are out of control. They do not believe in the First Amendment, and that is why Trump is suing them to defend our fundamental rights as a republic. I wonder how that lawsuit's going. The former president filed a class action suit against Twitter, Google, and Facebook last month alleging censorship by the big tech. And here's an individual, can't pronounce his name. He's a biotech entrepreneur. He wrote Woke Inc., told Fox News Tuesday that Twitter was guilty of staggering hypocrisy. Yeah, I think staggering might even be tight. The decision about their terms of use of their terms is service is really just a smokescreen for being able to do whatever one allowed to aggregate the most power on a given day, and the fact that they are now advancing the Taliban's ability to stage a coup while the 45th president of the United States cannot access the same platform says how far we've come since 20 years ago. Now this is good. This is great. This is great. The Babylon Bee ribbed Twitter over the situation with an article entitled, Trump sneaks back on Twitter by disguising himself as a Taliban spokesman. Where is it here? Here we go. Trump sneaks back on Twitter by disguising himself as the Taliban spokesman. Oh, my freaking God. This is awesome. Absolutely awesome. I got to give him this. And I have to give him this. Oh, God. You know the funny part is? They see Trump as being a monster. So why wouldn't he be with the Taliban? There's people that actually probably believe this. That's really well made. I really like that picture. I got to see this again. Trump speaks back on Twitter by disguising himself as a Taliban spokesman. We will make Afghanistan great again. Allah be praised. Trump has blown him out back on Twitter after disguising himself as one Don Hamid Trumpistan, a newly hired spokesperson for the Taliban, as Trump has previously been banned from the service, and then allowed back after disguising himself as a spokesman for the Chinese Communist Party, then banned again once he couldn't help himself and started claiming the election was stolen again. Then this simply his latest ploy to get back on social media. Allah be praised. Allah is pretty great, maybe the best ever, Trump says. Trumpistan wrote in Twitter as his first post that Joe Biden is really screwing things up over here. What a sad, pathetic loser. Oh, man, they're making me do the prayer thing right now. Why do I need to pray? Very humiliating. Not good. You know, I'd love to work for the Babylon Bee. That would be awesome. Unbelievable. Jack Dorsey caught on to what Trump was doing pretty quickly, but wasn't able to do anything about it. This guy says he's a Taliban spokesperson, so it would be wrong for us to silence someone of a different culture. You know the funny part? I mean, this is actually what he would say. If he said that, no one would be surprised. Now, if he starts questioning whether our government elected practices are worth trusting, then we can ban him immediately. We're keeping close watch on this Trumpistan person. At publishing time, Trump had asked the Taliban associates if they could maybe consider not doing the full burger thing on all those beautiful ladies. Oh, God. You know, anyone find it a bit odd that Trump isn't on Twitter, but the Taliban are? Why? How? You know what? They're so powerful and have so much money, these social media high-tech monsters. Their fall is going to be epic. Like the higher you are, the farther you fall. That's the way the saying goes. Their destruction is going to be epic. And I hope I live long enough to see it. Well, they all go. They all go. Chapter 13, bankruptcy, whatever you want to call it, all of them. They're busted up. or there's so much competition that their market share shrinks to 5%. Twitter has repeatedly come under fire for locking right-leaning accounts for apparently subjective reasons. Not apparently, they are. Conservative commentator Ep.542 was recently suspended after referring to New Zealand's transgender Olympic athlete Laura Hubbard as a man. Oh boy, there's suspension. But you can invade countries, take over governments, murder people, execute people, behead people, throw gays off of buildings, behead them, and that's okay on Twitter. But if you call a person who's biologically a man, you are barred. How effing insane are these people? How much is their ideology? Is it a mental condition? Is it really insanity? I think so. What was the poll? A much higher percent of left-leaning progressives have mental issues than conservative people. Perhaps the most infamous example of Twitter inconsistency, I love that. Hypocrisy is more the word. Came last year when it blocked the sharing of a New York Post story about the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop. Yeah, remember that? After the election, what was it, 42% of the people polled said they didn't even know about Hunter Biden's laptop before they voted? And 17% of that same group said they would have voted differently or not voted at all if they had known. 17% is a lot. Claimed to violate a company's policy against sharing hacked materials. It wasn't hacked materials. Hunter Biden left his laptop with a repair guy. After a certain amount of days, it comes to the possession of the repair shop. In another statement, it said articles by the Post included personal and private information like email addresses and phone numbers, which violate our rules. Yet in June, the ProPublica story about a secret trove of internal or revenue service data on some of the world's wealthiest people was allowed to be freely shared on Twitter, despite it involving personal information and what was almost assuredly leaked illegally. ProPublica published a story as President Joe Biden and Congress considering hiking taxes on the wealthy. Yeah. Legal leaked private information of citizens to make ideological and political points. If this fits with Twitter's ultra-leftist progressive ideology, I'm going to leave it right on this because that's the best one. Actually, maybe we'll get the bigger one here as we finish up. There we go. If it fits in with their progressive left ideology, screw the terms of service. They are publishers, not platforms. It's okay to be a publisher. There's a lot of places that publish things and do extremely well. They are not a platform anymore. And somebody with enough money and enough power goes after them and gets the Supreme Court case, and they finally, at least for the last 6 months, haven't been, well, not all of them, but most of them haven't. The Supreme Court do their job and go after these monsters. Not because they're rich, not because they're powerful. God bless them. Let them make all the money they possibly can. Have no problem with it. What I do have a problem with is how they interfere in elections and how they take away the rights of citizens and organizations and their political enemies. That I have a problem with. And when they go crashing down, and someday they will, believe me, think of all the huge mega companies that don't exist anymore or are so small you forgot about them. I did a radio interview a few months ago talking about where I said Walmart someday will be in the crapper. And the radio announcer laughed. And I said, really? I live in upstate New York, to give you an idea where I live. And I said, if you not too long ago in my lifetime, and I'm 64, there was a retail chain. They had way more stores than Walmart has now in the United States. They had such a huge percent of the market share that there was talk of antitrust suits. They were everywhere. Everywhere. And now they barely exist, if any. Give you a few seconds to think about who they are. Or pause the video now if you want to think about it. I'm going to give you the answer. Their answer is the A&P. And now they barely exist. So, every single giant corporation always comes crashing down. Always. Look at Kmart. Look at Sears. Look at Penny's. Look at Montgomery Ward. Somebody always comes along that's a little bit better and just ahead of them in innovation, and away they go. Just like these high-tech people will. And I hope and I pray that I'm alive long enough to see them crashing down to the ground and to ruins where they belong. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.